Hi, I wanted to make a video about becoming a postpartum doula since my baby's asleep and I have a moment of quiet without, noise in the background, at least for now. I just wanted to tell you about how I became a postpartum doula. So originally I had been a nanny, had worked in preschools, and I was working for a family with three-week-old twins, and they had a postpartum doula at night who was doing overnights for like 8 hours a night, and I would do the daytime. So I found out what a doula was, and I thought that sounded like something I wanted to pursue. So there are a couple different associations that can certify you, and generally you go through a training and then you fulfill the coursework. You submit a packet after you pay your certification fees, and then you are awarded your certification. DONA is a really popular association that's nationally recognized in the doula community that will certify you. What's the other one? There's another one. I wanted to do a birth, an infant care course. I can't remember right now. I'll put it in the comments though. I did my certification with Natural Resources of San Francisco as a local group. So the way that my program worked was I did one Wednesday a week for like 6 weeks plus some Saturdays. So my Wednesday night would be like 3 hours, and then my Saturday would be like 8 hours. And we covered topics like breastfeeding, infant care education, the psychological side of all of it. So being able to recognize if somebody is maybe moving towards postpartum depression, so that you can get the family the resources that they need to survive and get through the postpartum period. It was just learning how to best support a mother, and during the experience of postpartum time, it's kind of rough, and just having gone through some of these women some kind of traumatic births, just being able to listen and learning how to listen effectively, not just to respond to people. So those are some of the things we covered in our training. And in addition to the in-class training, we had to read from a list of different books. So one was like on breastfeeding, and you could kind of choose within, they gave a couple different recommendations. So breastfeeding, infant care, just understanding babies and their development, general doula books and things like that. And then we'd have to write a paper on those. And then in addition to that, I think I had to sit in on a breastfeeding course for parents. So I went to that, and that was like a couple-hour thing. And you write up a paper on that, and then you need to get in some hours with families. And I did those free of charge as a volunteer. Some people recommend that you do charge, because even though you're not a certified doula, you do have training, and your time is worth something. So that's up to you. If I felt kind of awkward about like charging people when I wasn't even sure what I was doing, and it was kind of awkward for me coming into someone's home and just jumping in like I'm a specialist when there was still a lot of things that I didn't know. Like I didn't know how to put together a breast pump, all the pieces that go together, because that's not something they teach you in training necessarily, and I wasn't a mother, so I didn't know, I didn't have experience with that. And those are things I learned over time, and it was embarrassing the first time someone asked me, and I had to figure it out with them, but you get through those things. So so then you write papers on each thing that you do. Those families will write, there's forms that they're given to do feedback, to let you know where you can improve. And generally people are really nice, and they just say nice things, which doesn't give you a lot of constructive criticism, but you'll run into the things that will make you feel kind of weird, and you'll learn that those are the areas that are your weak points and places you need to do some more research, so you can support families and be knowledgeable and make sure you have answers. And if you don't, then it's fine to say, I'm sorry, I don't know, let me get back to you on that. So we're not know-it-alls, obviously, and we don't want to be giving, tons of unsolicited advice. But when someone asks us about something that's in our field, like, I don't know, the best way to go about giving a baby a bath, it might be good to know some tips and to make the family and the mother feel comfortable in tackling that. And yeah, we don't want to go into it on a side note, like we know everything. We want to empower these new families and give them the confidence that they need to go forth into motherhood, into parenthood, and to be successful parents. So it's not our job to be super woman or man and run the show. Anyway, going back to the certification. So get all your stuff together, you pay your fee, you submit the packet, and you're certified. And once you're certified, you're going to want to get yourself out there. So the first things that I did is I joined, I guess ahead of joining an association, I got my domain name. I chose a doula name. You could just go with your name and do .com or choose a doula business name. Get your domain, put together a website, GoDaddy, like Weebly, there's Squarespace, there's a lot of good website groups out there that will give you like web builders, so it's pretty easy to put your website together. Make some business cards, get out to, go to pediatricians' offices, go to marriage and family therapist office, call ahead of time or email them and see if you can, work together and they can refer you. You can get a Yelp and a Google business page, a Facebook business page. You can do an Instagram, get all up on social media, get your name out there, join a local association. Sometimes there's like membership fees, and then you can go to different doula groups. Oftentimes they'll meet together, the doulas will meet together, or they'll host Meet the Doula events where families can come and meet prospective doulas. And it can be a little bit intimidating, but when you first go, if you're not knowledgeable, you don't know all the ins and outs, and if the community kind of feels like sometimes a little bit catty, or it may seem like that on the outside because you're not familiar with all of the people that are in the community. But that's a good place to get started, and reach out to someone who's kind of inspiring to you, who seems like their style of being a doula is similar to yours, and reach out to them as kind of like a mentor. Hey, can you give me some pointers, and do you have any recommendations, or or do you want to shadow? There's all those types of opportunities to deepen your practice, and you can take other courses, and you can even do birth doula training, which is a separate training just to deepen your understanding of what it's like to have been a mother who has just gone through the birth process if you've never had a child of your own. That also was immensely helpful for me to get my birth doula training as well. So those are some tips I have for you on becoming a postpartum doula. If you have any more questions for me, or like me to elaborate on anything that I touched on, let me know, send me a message or leave a comment, and I would be happy to let you know, give you any other tips. I've been a doula since 2012, and I'm taking a break right now because I have my baby, so I need to doula myself. But I just wanted to make this video for anyone out there who was in the same position as me, who was trying to get more information on how to become a postpartum doula. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.